What instantly turns a person from likable to disgusting to you? Inability to admit fault. I think this one is what led me to being more empathetic. The day I recognized that I could never take responsibility for my own actions when I did something wrong was the day I started really thinking about how other people felt. It's not like I never did that before, but whenever there was an argument or I hurt someone, I automatically assumed I was in the right. Instead, I started putting myself in their shoes and wondering how I would feel. I might not always be able to understand all of their emotions, but I do get a better understanding of the situation, and that allows me to either apologize and fix my mistake or double down because they really are in the wrong. This hits hard. I should have just made smaller checks to keep her from spending. Being rude to a stranger for literally zero reason. I remember my friend was rolling her eyes and sort of mocking this one girl sitting in the break room at work, and I was confused BC I didn't know why. But then I learned it was because she was a new employee. Like, why are you mad at someone for getting a job and literally just sitting down? In general, just being rude to anyone. Have some manners, people. Being an asshole to someone who is working. Yet there was this girl who works at a liquor store and thought she was lovely, and we would have nice back and forths when I go there. Then once she came into the McDonald's next door, there was a whole line of people that she went ahead of after ordering and was like berating them to give her coffee. Yeah, no. Right then and there, I was about to put out a rant because I'm so freaking tired of working in retail and dealing with assholes, but it's not worth typing it all out. But yes, I hate saying this, but 100% this. Frick those people who walk all over us retail slaves, being unable to admit their own faults or shortcomings, and blaming others for their mistakes. Inconsiderateness. And I don't just mean mean or rude, but when you can just tell that they literally do not consider other people when making decisions. There are two kinds of people that do this. The first is ignorant, perhaps due to lack of etiquette or they were in a hurry or having a bad day. Once they realize it though, they would be mortified as it was unintentional and will try to make reparations in the future. The second type of people genuinely don't care even if they were told. This group are the ones that deserve to be treated the way they treat others. Currently dealing with that with my coworker. The level of it just makes me say wow out loud, lol. Those kind of people exist, lol. Watching videos on their phone on loud volume in a public area. So like an iPad kid in some place like a library. Blasting Cocomelon and coughing as loud as possible. Maybe not the last 2-3 things, but you get what I am saying. I work in a cafe and you'd be surprised how many people sit and blast something on their phone and look around constantly with a smirk on their face. I genuinely believe some people enjoy being that person. If they talk shoot about someone who did nothing wrong just to look better. Being mean to animals or perceiving themselves as better than other people based on job. Featuring. That's what janitors are for. In a somewhat related tangent. A friend of mine told me about how she gauges people based on their treatment of cats. Unlike a lot of dogs, cats don't always want a ton of attention at any given time. If that person continues to try and go after the cat, even when it has made it clear it doesn't want attention, she viewed that as a red flag for someone who doesn't often consider the consent of the person they're interacting with. And the scary part is that she was right about that kind of person on more than one occasion. Decomposition. Decomposing people are the worst. If we could see him, I wonder what Beethoven would be doing right now. Decomposing. Being friendly as long as things are smooth. But, when hard times kick around, you abandon that person. Also the opposite. When things go wrong and they need somebody they're friendly. Then once they have their lives together they forget all about you. People that litter. When they badmouth others behind their backs. I play D&D every Saturday and a couple months ago I overheard someone talking shoot about me. Really pissed me off and made me question if anyone there was actually my friend. Thankfully that was the last session before her 3-month vacation. And our group is so big we have 2 DMs running 2 different games and she is the DM for the group I am not in. People who try to get attention on social media by saying something vague like, OMG I can't believe this happened, and their friends freak out asking what's wrong. 4 days later they finally reply something lame like, oh I spilled my favorite nail polish lol, just shut the frick up. I used to do that when I was a kid. It was so fricking cringy, ugh. I tried combing my FB and deleting everything but I'm still finding stuff. I've thought about deleting it and starting over. Fakeness. Inauthenticity. I know this is a cliche, but I recently met someone who changed her entire belief system, values, and moral compass seemingly overnight when she joined a new friend group. Witnessing it was the weirdest effing thing, and something I've never encountered before. Seeing her go from one person to an entirely different person in the blink of an eye. What caused or causes this type of behavior? I don't know. An extreme lack of confidence? Low self-esteem? A desire to fit in and be liked? No matter the cost? Most groups either small or big will threaten to spit you out if you act different with differing levels of hostility. If you enjoy or neutral on X, disagree on Y. It's a culture thing. I'm not quite sure about your specific instance, that's pretty extreme. But it's typically a push from society. Try being politically left-leaning in the trucking industry in the southern US and see just how many friends you make. Sometimes it's just easier, and in a lot of cases safer, to pretend. Narcissism and ego. The downside is that it's difficult at first to figure out what you're dealing with. The sneakiest narcissists are damned good at looking wonderful. Excellent at image management too. Often they'll be horrid to targets for the sole purpose of getting their stable of allies to rally around them even more. How can they do that? A narcissist is a poison that is damned hard to purge from a group because they're so damned good at creating allies. They'll steal your family out from under you and laugh while they do it. What is considered a narcissist person? Playing your music on a Bluetooth speaker at high volume so everyone has to listen to your shooty choice in music. Turn that shoot down or put on headphones. Being mean to animals. I understand being afraid of them, but if they just enjoy hurting them, then it makes me wanna beat the crap out of the person. Also, I'm pretty sure that's a sign of someone being a psychopath. I have a friend like that. She also is able to fake cry little tears. Whenever our other friends go to retrieve ladybugs and chill with them, she knocks them off our hand and stomps on them. But I have been around a few women like this. Not very enjoyable experiences around those people. This is one of the most obnoxious traits. It's often a sign of insecurity, though, I think. In high school there was this one big dude a class higher that mostly referred to me as Rat. I was much smaller than him and a freshman, and he didn't dare call anyone else that was close to his height, build, that or anything else in the tone in which he said it to me. He was just a pretentious tough guy only shooting on others where he can to feel better at himself.